Hello and welcome to another episode of Talkin Shop. Today we're joined again by Captain Jack Spanners. Today we're going to talk.
My finger's stuck in my boot. I want to go like,
No, there you go. There we go. But today, guys, we're gonna talk about something really important to Jack, but it's obviously on theme with November and really on theme with what's going on, men's mental health. So we are going to be talking about some sensitive subjects. So if you don't feel comfortable, then just a bit of a heads up for this podcast. But we are going to be talking about some really good incentives that Jack and colleagues that he's working with, where we can get people who are struggling with help. So if you're struggling or know somebody who's struggling, we're going to be talking about that very thing and what you can do to help yourself and others.
Absolutely.
So enjoy, guys.
Good stuff.
No, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming down.
It's good to come.
Yeah, you're like a regular now.
Yeah.
I'm not, might as well just call you the third host.
Third time, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I think it's also important to note that he hasn't hurt his neck.
Oh yeah. No, I've not come as Avid Marion. It is a Halloween
that is
special.
Not a neck brace.
That is what it is. Thank you, please. Thank you, please.
Well, like a dog that's a cone runner.
Thank you, please. I love you.
Yes.
I'm Avid Marion bow selector. That's what I've come as.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I put this on. I had a gilet while I was walking the dogs this morning. I thought, it's a bit cold actually. I'm just going to put this on with the hoodie and that'll keep me warm. And then, I get it now. And cream as well. Probably should have gone for another one, shouldn't I?
Yeah,
but I love a turtleneck this time of year.
I do. Jodie hates me and on.
Love them, I do. Put a little gilet on, some boots.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Big trench coats and that.
All I need now is a little stick and a little flat cap, I'll be like David Beckham, think I'm cool, but yeah. So I've come as Avid Marion today. It is what it is, but it wasn't intentional. So, but been busy then, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always got. I say this when I go to a truck show. I say the same line probably 250 times.
Yeah.
I've always got more than I can do. I'll say, always got more than I can do, mate. Because you get asked the same question every time. You're busy then, mate. Yeah. Always got more than I can do. Yeah. But it's right. It's manic out there. And I say this to and people that I get phone calls all the time or messages. I'm thinking about going by myself, but I'm worried about work. There is so much work out there. Yeah. Do not worry about getting work.
Good.
Can't keep up.
No.
I can't.
So business is good.
Yeah, business is good. I'm still on my own.
Yeah.
But because I had a few setbacks with regards to buying Nathan out of the company.
Yeah.
I was meant to have an influx of cash from the house sale. I was going to give a director's loan to the company. House hasn't sold. Well, it's not even been on the market yet. That's another story. Just a few setbacks. But hey, most businesses fail in the first year, and it's year 2 going onwards. It's
nice to see.
Good,
mate. Good.
But if I could buy 2 vans tomorrow, I could put them on the road and run them and have them full with work. Yeah, it's money.
So the work's there, obviously. Yeah.
I feel like I'm constantly letting people down. The phone rings. Can you do this on Wednesday? I look through me, but I'm stuffed to 2 weeks' time, and something's broke down today. It needs fixing, doesn't it?
Yeah. Are you a proper?
Sub a lot out. I'm subbing a hell of a lot out. Yeah. And of course, that would be work I would do. Yeah. Or get my lad to do.
So your diary like your Bible then? You're a proper pen and paper man.
I lost one of these the other day. And I tried to do invoicing at the end of the week. Yeah. Get on and do the invoicing. I left this on one. I've got another one identical to this a couple of months ago. Left it on the back of the pickup, drove off.
Oh no.
I had 3 weeks of invoicing. All there. This is the book. Yeah. There's nowhere else.
No.
And it's all my invoicing's there.
You should take a picture of every page.
I was here for 2 hours. I was there for 4 hours. And that's like 5 jobs a day. Yeah. You lose 3 weeks. I was going back through pictures. So where was that? Oh yeah, I was in swaddling coat that day till 4 p.m. And then what did it was manic. I would have lost that, I don't know, it's hard to say, but it would have been in the thousands. Of what I missed out on. So people had freebies, but that was my own stupid mistake.
Yeah. But to be fair, most people, you just ring them and go, this is what I've done.
Or someone going, you didn't invoice me for that. I go, yes, that's the one I missed.
Yeah.
No worries, mate. which day was it again? And they look at me pictures and go, oh yeah, I was trying to work out where I was at that.
I've already done it.
It's like a picture of my thumb or something, but it has a location. You're like, where was my thumb that day?
Yeah, that is the good thing though, because if you are taking pictures on a day, like the iPhone, it does give you locations and stuff, doesn't it? So you can like jog anything to jog your memory.
Yeah. That's it. And you go, oh, and then the whole day unveils when you go, when you work.
Yeah, I put everything. I don't pen on paper because I would lose the pen before I'd even lost the paper. But I'm absolutely shocking.
You forget to write it in the first place.
I forget to write in the first place, yeah. But I keep everything. I keep an electronic diary for everything. Yeah. Other than personal, I just let that. I just wing that.
No, I'm no good at that. Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the questions from the...
Ellie's my diary for personal stuff. And to be honest with you, I never know what we're doing anyway because I'm that bad at surprises. I'm awful. Like I've ruined a lot of like surprises because if you tell me anything, I'm going to forget. 2 days later, I'll be telling the person that's about to go, oh,
we're coming to yours.
It's be good on. Yeah, it's going to be Sunday, mate. Yeah, it's going to be good on that. Oh, I'm shocking.
I've done that.
So half the time, I won't even know. Like this Sunday just gone, we were doing something for her dad's birthday. I was like, oh, I didn't know we were doing that. She was like, yeah. You weren't told on purpose. I'm absolutely shocking for her. I am, but yes, good. Yeah. Well, today we are going to be talking about. Well, to be fair, we're on theme as well.
Mental health in all.
Yeah.
In all. And I think it's important to note that we are not medical practitioners of mental health.
Although I look like one today. Yeah, if I took the hoodie off.
Well, you've been on the receiving end of it. Yeah. And, we're not giving advice as, from a professional standpoint. No. We're giving advice not even giving advice. We're just shooting the shit about what it is that mushy little thing in our heads gets us into trouble all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
of course, the Men's Minds Matter charity, I spoke to them today, and they were big on pushing because they specialise in suicide prevention. So it's when people have made a plan, they've gone, I can't do this anymore. I'm checking out, and I'm going to do it next Saturday at 4 p.m. after I've dropped the kids off. What you know what I mean? And it's people that have made plans, and it's trying to prevent people from doing that. And the big push at the minute is, what you would have missed out on. If you think about, if I do this I don't do it from when I first attempted to commit suicide. I do it from kind of when I got better, because there's not like a day or pinpoint where it happened. But as I got better, I've really tried to look at things I would have missed, and it can be a Christmas. Like last Christmas we rented a house in, it was more like a castle in Wales. Had a hot tub outside, and Christmas Day it was raining, but we're in this hot tub. And I thought, I wouldn't have made that because I'd have been 6 foot under. Or just 3 weeks ago, and it can be as small as this. 3 weeks ago, me and Olivia, my daughter, who's 19, it was her birthday, so I went down to see her. Just me and her. We went into a pub, and I had to take a phone call. I ordered the drinks. She had a vodka or something. I had a beer, and I ordered the drinks. And my phone rang. I peeled away and I come back and she leant over and just paid for it. She's like, I can buy my dad a drink. No. And it instantly went, I'd have missed out on that. Yeah. Those little things. I go, my daughter will buy me a drink.
Yeah.
And it's where you can trace things back and go, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Even like my son called me a weirdo the other day. I think I said something about weird. And he goes, hey, weirdo. And I was like, don't say that. It made me laugh. But I was like, even that, what a funny moment I would have missed out on.
Yeah, and it's good to remember the good moments, because I think as it's just human nature to forget all the good stuff that's happened and just focus. I'm the worst for it. I can have a million things going for me, and then that one thing, and all I fixate on is that one thing that's going wrong.
And I'm really susceptible to that. I'm really bad. I can fall off big time. But then this is what I mean, because I've got better, it's important. I almost have an almost constant dialogue with myself. Like, what you do that for? Or, why? Or if, say, I bit Jodie's head off, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, where did that come from? You got to, and I say this to people, if you're not talking to yourself like daily, especially, you're struggling a bit. If you're not checking in and talking with yourself daily, you're missing out on important conversations. You know what I mean? And they're the ones with yourself.
Yeah.
Going, what was that about?
Yeah.
And then you go, that ain't it. You shouldn't. You should apologise to her for that. Even just a slight bite. I think that was out of line. I go, listen, I'm sorry about that. What are you on about? No, I was a bit, and she wouldn't have even noticed. But you're holding yourself to that high regard all the time. And that's those internal conversations are important.
Yeah.
And you're not going mental. If you're talking to yourself, I mean, it's a bit different if you're going, shut up, stop, shut up, and you're standing in an alley, you know, against the wall, like telling, you know, it's a bit different. But just that subtle, did you, what's going on? Or even like checking, what's going on with you today?
Yeah, inner voice really, isn't it?
Or we go, hold on, I'm thinking that way again, this ain't helpful.
Yeah.
We've been down this road before, Jack. Come on, man, pull your head out your arse. And you go, oh, yeah. But then it can happen instantly.
So is that a lot of life is figuring out how you yourself tick. Like you're so used to making friends, work colleagues, you know, girlfriends, whatever. A lot of life is actually thinking about how you tick.
Yeah.
And what to do. And you get eventually with whether it's work
confident in yourself, I think, as well. Because a lot of men, you know, if people have sought out this podcast, it might be because they're struggling. And, you know, life's hard. It really is. But with regards to like confidence, because if you're really struggling, your confidence ain't there. Because you've been letting yourself down for fucking maybe a year and 2 years now. You've been saying you're going to do something you never do. You don't go to the gym. What's the point? I know I'm going to not go. What's the point of me booking a membership? Because I know I won't go. Or that family meal you're meant to be going to. I won't turn up. They don't. That's why should you believe in yourself when no one else does? Because you keep letting people down, you keep letting yourself down. And I think for a lot of men, and I've got quite a controversial view on mental health as a whole. It's not your conventional, I hope you're all right, which I am sympathetic, really, because I've been there. But a lot of it as well is like, hey man, when you're gonna pick this shit up and fix it? Because, you know, it's like you got people that love you and people that like believe in you, and you're giving them a subpar version of yourself. You're doing yourself a dishonesty. You're doing them a dishonesty when you could just pull up your bootstraps and go, all right, I can't. Past year was a write-off. I fucked up. I've been down, but I need to get my confidence back. I need to, if I say I'm going to do something, and there's so many questions people have asked me about what would you do? How do you do like pull your head out your arse when you're feeling low, or how do you go and do a night's work because if you say you're going to do something, you bloody well do it. And that will help a lot of men that are struggling. If you just start doing what you say you're going to do.
Through on it.
Simple as that. I'm going to go gym for 3 times this week. It gets to Friday, you're knackered, and you go, no. I said I'm doing 3 days. Even if I go for half hour, I'm going. And then you go and you build up your confidence in yourself. Like, I do what I say. There's that Alex Hormozi quote, and he says, you don't build confidence by, I think we said this on the last podcast, you don't build confidence by screaming affirmations in the mirror. You build it by having an unstackable pile of proof that you know who you say you are. You know, you keep, when you say you're going to do something, you turn up. Like with my work, sometimes you get like 11 o'clock at night and I go, I can't believe I booked that last job in because everything's knocked on. I think I could just cancel it. And you go, no. We said we're going to be there. And then when you're driving back, right, you say it's 1 o'clock in the morning, you're driving home, you're like, and you feel it. You go, I'm a badass. You know, like I genuinely, I could have worked my way out of that. I probably would have been okay to do it as well. But no. I said I'd do it. I went and did it. And that's where you get your confidence from. And people can't take that away from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a real, and most things come from that. And people say, oh, how do we get to that stage? Start making promises. Even some ones that you might not be able to keep, and just fulfill them. And it sounds ridiculous, but that's how simple some of it is.
You actually feel better afterwards for achieving that goal as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not easy. Of course it ain't. But it's not meant to be.
No.
Nothing, it's a cliche of nothing worth having come easy. It's almost a brush off comment. But if you really got into the bones of it, there's nothing truer.
No.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's small wins every day. I think sometimes people don't do what they're going to say they do. It's because they're overwhelmed by the whole idea of it. That makes sense. The effort of getting there. It's setting yourself actually achievable goals every day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We're all subject to scrolling through Instagram and you see things that everybody else has got and whatever, and that puts you down. But actually, you've got to think of your small, and if it is literally just going to the gym at the end of work or whatever.
I think that's a massive thing for anyone struggling. it's the gym.
Yeah.
You need to get booked. I don't care where it is in the country, what gym you go to. You don't have to be a bodybuilder's gym. It could be Pure Fit, whatever. Get a membership. It does not, you just one that rolls over and just go. Just go at least twice a week. Just do it. Because you instantly, and it's remarkable because you're quite fit. So, you lads are quite fit. It's remarkable how much your body can change in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
If you train 3 times, 4 times a week with intensity, you can change. You can change a lot about you, and you eat right. You'll feel dramatically different in 6 weeks.
Yeah,
and if you're a little bit overweight, you will feel a bit shit because we said, you're giving people a subpar version of yourself.
Yeah.
Imagine there's two linear tracks in life. There's you who you are now, and then someone who did everything they said they was going to do. They went to the gym 4 times a week. They saved the money instead of going throwing it up the wall. And that person's out there and he's on this trajectory, but you're here.
Yeah.
It's all you need to do is those things and you're there.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating, and sometimes I come off it. I won't go to the gym for like 2 weeks. And I think, say if I was going to an event, I don't know, and I was wearing a nice shirt, I thought, and I didn't go to the gym for 2 weeks before. I know I could have felt better because I'd have been tighter in my t-shirt, you know what I mean? And I would have felt, I'd have been fit. I'd have a little bit of burn in me, and I'd feel way better than I did now. And it's just those scenarios, you could be better.
Yeah.
And again, you're giving people a subpar version of yourself.
Well, exercise, I mean, again, we're no experts, but exercise for me personally, it turns me into a different person. I make sure I do just a 5K run every day. If I don't do anything else, any of my calisthenics or whatever, if I just do that 5K, I'm telling you, I can have the worst day going. I'm struggling to get out of work mode or whatever it is. I'm having a tiff with Ellie at home, whatever. If I go on that 5K run, I come back in a totally different person.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know if you've seen the Joe Rogan clip where he's on about why he trains, and he says, just because for that day alone, I know I'm not a lazy piece of shit. And I just went and done something hard. Yeah. And then the rest of the day just falls into place. Yeah. If you get up early, just do that one thing. No one wants to get out of bed at 5 in the morning, go to the gym. But by foot, when you come skipping out of there at 6 or 6:30, the day just falls into place. So
as me as well, I feel so much more productive after I've done exercise. Like I can have a full day at work. Yeah. I do feel groggy. The thing with me as well is I try, when you sat down in the car all day, you've been out, and then I get home and I sit down. I don't sit down. I try and go straight out for a run because I sit down and I go, it's so easy to go, especially in your job as well. And we're going to have a lot of technicians. Like you feel like it's and it is a difficult job. You're obviously moving around all day. You're putting yourself under a lot of stress. You get home, the last thing you're going to do is exercise. But on the mental buzz I get runner's high, big time I do. I come home, I'm like, yes, love it, loving life. And then I turn into a bit of a beast. Whether I'm over in the house, like, Ellie, no problem, I'll do all that.
It is. And it's, I mean, you can go right into the chemical things of it. It does release the chemical in your head. Yeah. It's just proven fact.
Yeah. Put some music on and go do some exercise.
That's it, man. And just it's you against you. And there's days where, and again with that internal dialogue, there's days. I've done it a couple of weeks ago. I went in the gym, just had a crap session, and I left. Got in the car, and I went to turn the ignition. I went, "You lazy prick!" Like that dialogue. I was like, you didn't even try. You didn't even bother. No. And I thought, got ignition out, went back in. I had to do another half hour just beasting it because I wouldn't have been
happy with yourself.
I wouldn't have been happy. I would have been like miserable all day. Or got home ratty with her, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it sort of sets you off for the rest of the day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's the triggers. We spoke about this before. I used to have a trigger when we used to live in London. We lived in the Docklands, and obviously Baron's been there with me a few times afterwards, but there was a day I used to hate getting on the tube early in the morning. I hated my job. I hated London. I was never built for it.
Just a cycle of every day, I guess.
Yeah, it was like every day. And there was a time where I used to walk down by the Thames to the DLR to get on the tube. And there's a day where I was literally just stood there waiting for the tube. It was like 6 or 7 minutes for it to come. And I was like, either I can get on the tube and go to work, or I could just throw myself in the Thames. Oh, I was in a mess. I absolutely hated it. I absolutely hated it.
Funny that you get triggers like that.
Yeah. And that was my trigger every day. It was, getting on the tube. And even now, like, I have like PTSD in a way of, if we go to London, I hate getting on the tube. And I know it's because it takes me back to that.
Things,
It's weird, yeah. I used to hate it. Getting squashed in sardines, going to a job that I absolutely hated. Oh, yeah. Not great. And
I have the same with, like, obviously, because I suffered with depression. And that's the thing, now when I speak to people about it, I suffered with depression. Now, I don't say I suffer. I live with depression. I don't suffer with it. I don't, it's not something that I struggle with as such. I'd live with it because I know it's there. And like today, I know I'll come, after speaking about this topic, I'll be, on the way home, I'll be shattered. It will drain me. Because even in being around someone who's negative, I go, even though just negative, F this, F that, blah, blah, blah. It could be 15 seconds of it and I'll go, I just feel heavy. It's just something that I'm really susceptible to. And I go, and I'll go for the door. I have to get out because it's, you know, it's like, I cannot be near that.
Yeah.
And like this today, it would be, because it's quite a big topic to talk on, you know, it's quite you got to be quite responsible with it. You can't just throw off the cuff statements out there because people are pretty struggling, you know what I mean? So when you talk about your own story, it's like, well, I want to get it right, you know what I mean? And at the same time, I don't want to fucking talk about it. But working with these guys, Men's Minds Matter, we, like recently, just with all the merchandise, it's been doing quite well. And I was like, it's extra. And I thought, I don't want all the extra. Like I can give half of the extra away and still have a little bit extra. And I was like, what can we do? And I thought, and I've seen this charity, Men's Minds Matter, and it's the suicide prevention. And they've got a great thing where they try to help family members and friends of people who are suicidal to advise and educate them on like this is how you can help them, which I haven't come across before.
No. And
it's like one of them that's quite important is, you know, let's say your friend has lost his job, going through a breakup, anything significantly negative, let's just assume they're not going to be in a good place. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't say it to your mate, even though people can be happy as Larry and be really suffering. But if someone has it going through one of these moments, you just like talk to them about it. And one of the ones, if you think they are actually quite upset, ask them if they've ever thought about hurting themselves. And this is a massive one. It's quite a strange question to ask someone if you think about it. But if you loved someone, it can be a massive question to save someone. Yeah. And what they've found is they've had a lot of people go, why have you asked me that? They go, well, I'm just asking. He's like, I was going to do it Saturday. Wow. And they go, you know what I mean? And it's like, they've been making plans. They says, and this is something I can attest to, and I'll explain the story in a minute, where they were going to do it. And you've managed to go, hey, you've spotted it on someone, you know? And they've gone, I really need help. And they weren't asking for it before. No. So that's a massive thing.
Yeah.
You know.
We were just looking at some statistics just recently, and they say like only 1 in 8 men would either tell somebody about their issues or their employer about their issues. And even women as well, it's only 1 in 5.
Yeah.
It's not good at all.
And this is the thing, that, like female mental health, of course, it's massive, but it's not really something I'm qualified to talk on. Mental health, I know, as a whole, but I can't be telling you the trials and tribulations of a female. This is why the Men's Minds Matter. You stick to kind of what I can help.
Relate to,
yeah. Yeah. Because it'd be hypocritical of me to think about, you know, what troubles and tribulations that women are going through. But yeah, and it's like, I suppose just because we'd recap on, because some people might be thinking, well, why on earth are you talking to him about mental health? But so I'll just touch briefly on it. So I've attempted previously, of course, when I was ill, I attempted to commit suicide. Was it twice? I can't remember. Twice, yeah. And so the first time I was drinking whiskey, sat in my kitchen, going through bad marriage. My wife was heavily pregnant, and we were meant to be getting to like splitting up. And it was just a shit show. Everything was going wrong. I was I was cheating on my wife with another woman, and all this was self-inflicted, and it was all this crescendo of shit that I put my life into. And I sat there and I looked, and I was in the kitchen. I had a tattoo kit. I was touching the tattoo on my wrist up, and I was drinking whiskey. And I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I just went, "Fuck this, man!" And I looked. I said the banister was open in the kitchen, and I took the cable off the tattoo kit, dragged a chair over, and strung myself up. And now I've always asked myself questions, like, because you go over things in your head. What that night? What was it?
What was the trigger?
The cable snapped, and I was on the floor, and I was round my neck. I cried myself to sleep, I think, and my ex-wife found me a few hours later. I'd obviously just cried myself. I was purple, and I woke up to her cutting it off my neck. And I look back and I think, well, there was 2 cords to that tattoo kit. Like, what did I really want to do it? Now, was it a cry for help? And this is another thing I'll touch on about saying this. The phrase "a cry for help" is quite a dangerous thing to say. But in that instance, was I reaching out? What could I have gone and find a better, more suitable cord that would have done the job? So he asked me, I was blind drunk, and I look back and I think, well, what was all that about, really? And then the second time, I'd done that. I'd planned. It was a Friday. I said, if nothing gets better, I'm done. Over the weekend. So Friday, I cut a length of pipe off, put it in the back of my car from work with a gaffer tape, put it in the boot, and I says, right, if by Sunday night nothing's picked up, I'm done. I'm checking out.
That is dark. That is deep.
So it didn't, and I cried myself to the A6 lay-by on the A6 out near Leicester, and again, this was all self-inflicted. I caused this world of shit, and I couldn't face it. I weren't man enough. So I went out and I sat there and I rang my mum, fucking bawling my eyes out. She's saying, "Don't you dare do this to me, you bastard, don't you dare," you know what I mean, really. And they knew where I was, so they could get me, so it wasn't some randomer that found me. And I'm sat there and someone fucking pulled in front of me, jumped out and they were having a waz up the bush. And then another car pulled in behind me. And then the funny thing was, I thought, well, I can't get out and how embarrassing, I can't get out and put the tube on. I look all right to it. I'm like, you're worried about how you're embarrassed about, and this, it's just a real strange thing.
Yeah.
So I come out the lay-by, went down, and I got intercepted by the police because I was put out as missing.
Okay.
A dangerous, missing, presumed
vulnerable person.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
And they bottled me into the Sainsbury's in Oadby. Got out, they confiscated the stuff off me. I sat and spoke to them for ages, and the crisis team. It was all this big thing. Again, didn't do it, but I was there, and I was essentially curled my toes over that cliff edge. I was right there, and it didn't do it. Would I have done it? I don't know. I really don't know, because I was inconsolable. But again, I'm here to talk about it, and the thing is, like, you got to understand. I say this to people: if I went out and killed someone, you'd think I was a psychopath. Wouldn't you? You're like, oh my god, he killed someone. Men are doing this to themselves. You've got to understand how warped their mind is to go and kill. They're going and killing another human being, but it just happens to be themselves.
Yeah.
That is, when you're at that point. So imagine if I went out to find someone to kill that night. Whoa. Then you can understand the mind of this person, of how broke and warped and hey, if I went out and killed someone, I'd go to prison and I'd be given, I'd be rehabilitated and I'd be given classes and care and all this stuff that can. But you go out and kill yourself, you maybe could have done with those fucking classes and counselling before.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? This is the mind of someone who wants to kill themselves.
Yeah.
They're gone.
The difference between your first attempt and the second attempt as well, like the thing with for me personally, on your second one is you planned it. That's quite a scary thing to be like.
And I remember speaking
Thursday,
I was cutting the pipe off, and I think my mate Tom Atkinson, I always remember it, and I remember the bench. I remember which grinder I used to cut it off. I'm cutting off. He's like, yeah, just chatting, like, Sam, like just shooting the shit, and I'll cut this pipe off.
Yeah,
and I went to called it up, put it in my boot, and I was just like, I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, that might be the last time I speak to him.
Yeah, little did he know why you were doing that at the time. Yeah.
So then there's another time, and this is the progression of, and then I started to get better, and I had an episode where I just lost my damn mind, and I was so upset. It was my 30th birthday, and I told this on the last one. It's my 30th birthday, and I knew I didn't want. At this point, I knew I don't want to die. I've got a lot to live for. I knew I didn't want to die, but I'd been so close before. I thought, I'm not safe to be around myself. And I thought, I need to, and this is how serious I was about it. I went to the University Hospital in Coventry, and I was in the car crying my eyes out, shaking. I wrote a note, please help me. I think I might kill myself. And I walked into the A&E and just walked up to the counter, gave the woman a note, and I was just, trying to hold back the tears. And she went, oh, okay, what's your name? Jack? Follow me. Didn't even let my ass touch a seat. And this is the thing where people say like support and stuff with the NHS, wouldn't even let me sit down, straight through the back into somewhere, and someone started speaking to me. And, and they would not let me out their sight. There's a mental health wing of the hospital over the other side. They booked a taxi for me to take me from the front over to there. Wouldn't let me walk in case I just chipped. Yeah. And so that was really quite something. But I was that low. I thought, I got too much to live for. I've got my beautiful children. I got, there's hope. But I just thought, whoa, I'm not safe. I'm really not safe. I need to get fucking somewhere quick where they can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's me getting better. But going, I need help, man.
Yeah.
Bit of realisation. Once you've realised actually you do need help, then that's the road to recovery really from there, isn't it?
And that was it. And after that, and this is where I say, anyone who's struggling like that, you have to seek professional help. It's all good speaking to your mates, and I encourage it. But that's where these real epiphanies come from. Yeah. And like one of the things they told me was, you got a teenage daughter, right? Yeah, I've got a teenage daughter. Yeah, I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, he says, but I'm just going to use some facts. Like, your children of parents who've committed suicide are 3 times more likely to commit suicide themselves, And you're like, wow, fucking this ain't about me. There's more, what, I'm going to go and do that? And then little things like she wouldn't have bought me that drink 3 weeks ago. And probably would have put her in a position where she was unsafe.
She'd be vulnerable. Yeah.
Like, are you really that small-minded to think? And this is the thing. At that time, there's nothing that I went at the first and second time. Kids didn't even come into my mind. Didn't
just tunnel vision.
And that's how this psychopathic mind, where someone was going to go out and kill someone, it's that badly warped. You don't think, I'm going to miss my daughter's wedding date. Doesn't even come into your head. No. But until you obviously try and start to get better.
This is why it's good to talk to yourself.
It is,
like you're saying. Yeah,
it is. And that's that day I was like, I'm not safe. And another great, like I said about the Men's Minds Matter, where they talk about giving friends and family support and advice on how to keep your loved ones safe. That day I checked out of that the hospital, and my mate called me, so he'd got wind of it from somewhere. My mate Josh Orkney, he was the best man at my wedding. He got wind of it, and he goes, right, what are you up to today, mate? And I was at the hospital. He goes, yeah, I heard. Listen, I'm on the way. I'm going to come pick you up. He's like, I booked the day off work. Oh. This was like 11 o'clock in the day, so he just rang work and says, I'm done for the day. Yeah, chipped. And he said, I'm going to come pick you up. Come on, let's go for a drink. And he picked me up, and we went to the Slug and Lettuce in Coventry. And we sat down, had a drink, and we spoke about everything but the fact that I was just in hospital thinking about killing myself. And that is just what I fucking needed at that time. Not someone giving me half-assed advice that he didn't know how to give, or saying, well,
why'd you do that?
Do you know what? I've experienced this before, and I've felt this way, and you just like, shut up.
Yeah.
Because I think if he had done that, I'd have gone, cheers for the drink, and fucked off. Yeah. And but he was instrumental in helping me get better. And then lockdown come round after that, and I essentially moved in with him. And it was almost like he kept an eye on me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Through what a lot of people struggled with that time. Mm-hmm. And I was going through all sorts. And so he was just, and we never really sat and had that chat. It was just the covenant of companionship. You know what I mean? And if anyone could ever take advice, it would be kind of what he did for me. Just be there. Go, listen, man, I booked the day off work to come. You care. You matter to me that much that I know you're struggling. I'm going to come. He didn't need to say anything. No. He left work. He left his job to come and get me. That was all I needed to know, that I had someone there, that it's like, come on, you can do this. And so I've been getting better and better ever since. Now I still have days where I feel like hit rock bottom. You're just like, come on, we ain't going there. Not no more. Too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've tried to give people too much advice for you to go and fucking, you know what I mean, throw it all away.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be suicidal, but you do get down. You know what I mean? Everyone does.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
That's how you deal with it.
Exactly.
That's the thing with, and there's like some of the questions that people have asked, like, how do you?
Yeah, feel free to.
How do you get through? We'll look at some in a minute.
Yeah.
But how do you? What's this one? What motivates you to get out of bed? It's just like, it goes back to, I want to not sound like fucking Andrew Tate, but how you feel really shouldn't have any bounds on what you do. You've got to get up and get fucking on with it, man. The kids need feeding. You need to get to work. If you told someone you're going to be there, just bloody be there. I know it's hard. Life is hard. It's fucking horrible. And there's multiple days where, and this is where comes making promises helps, because you can, there's no excuse then. I've made him a promise and I stick to my word now. This is what I do. I don't feel like going. There's no argument. Got to go. You know what I mean? It removes the option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of just making promises, and getting close to a promise you can't keep is really good. You know what I mean?
I feel like for you, what I'm getting the sense is like, you're happy to let yourself down, but you won't let others down, and that's what keeps you going in a way. Is that you've made a promise. But then if you let someone else down, you are letting yourself down, because your word means something, and if you let them down, you're not who you said you were. Hold on, you were the guy that said you wouldn't let people down when you do what you said. You just, and then this the whole thing. So you got to keep that topped up. You can, listen, some days something's going to happen. You might crack a tooth and you go, do you know what? I'm in fucking agony. I can't do that. That's
different. It's not,
but I'm talking about that. I don't feel like it today. Fuck how you feel. That's all there is misery.
Yeah.
When you let that happen, day 1, day 2, day 3, but before you know it, you're back to being a useless piece of shit.
Yeah.
And you've lost that XYZ customer. They can't trust you. They think you're a twat. Your missus goes, look what you're doing. We're struggling to pay the rent now. All because you looked at one day of being a fucking miserable, wheezy little knob. And this is what I have for myself.
It's good to feel so strong about that as well, and that's what gets you through the day, and that's important.
Yeah, I'm constantly on my own arse every day. And this is, Jordan Peterson says something brilliant, that you should look at yourself as though you are someone you are responsible for looking after. You know what I mean? And that is with regards to going like,
I like that.
How are you feeling today? You should, you almost
really good.
Step beside yourself and go, like, I want to look after you. What you're doing now isn't helping you at all. Say you start drinking heavily again, or you're thinking these negative thoughts. You go, it's like you tap on the shoulder and go, hey, fuckface, pull your head out your ass. We've been down this road. It's no good for you. And that's how you have to be with yourself. You are responsible for looking after yourself.
Yeah.
And again, don't give people a subpar version of yourself. You got to get yourself polished up, and you can offer a better life for yourself. And when you're competent and turning up on time, you're competent, you're confident, you just have a better way of life, man.
Yeah.
All the things stem from that. I don't know if you've ever seen this. It's quite funny. I was thinking about it the other day. There's this guy online. You would have seen him on TikTok, and he connects with a fucking alien. Okay. Apparently, telepathically connects with an alien called Bashar. You've got to have seen it.
No, I haven't actually, no.
And this is the beauty of not just going nonsense, turning over. No, that is a nonsense, like connecting with a fucking alien. But this alien comes out and says these really profound things. And he's saying the formula for life, and this is, I can't vouch for it. The formula for life is 3 things. So what was the first one? You pick something you're excited about. So let's talk about career. Pick a career that excites you and you're interested in. 2, the second thing, work on it as hard as you can every single day. 3, have no presumption on the outcome. That is the formula for success. Now, forget the outcome. Let's just say you lived a life working on something that excites you. What a life to live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Straight away out the gate. Now, working on, and so we touched on this before, you can't outwork a man who doesn't feel like he's working. So you're working on something that excites you. You're doing it to the best of your ability as hard as you can. Now, the only outcome from that is success. You know, good things are going to happen, and they're not putting like a time frame on it or expecting an outcome. Is essentially, say someone's been doing something a little bit less time than you, and you're like, well, hold on, they're doing what they're doing. No, shut up, your lane. Don't have any presumptions on what the outcome is going to be, and that. He reckons this alien is the formula for life. And I think, fantastic. Wow. Yeah. Because what's the reverse of that? Working on something that you don't particularly like. You get a job you don't particularly like. Working at it half-assed, not really doing anything, and then being pissed off when nothing happens immediately. What kind of life's that?
Yeah. And like if you never put a expectation
on the outcome.
Exactly. Then you're never limiting yourself either.
And for me...
You can never be disappointed.
Luckily... I've always done a job that I'm really interested in. When Heavy Tech started, that was me working on something to my hardest and the best of my ability, and having no presumption on, like now, like I spoke about having setbacks. Like other blokes have got 5 vans on the road. Don't care.
Yeah,
I'm just working me for now. And when these blessings keep falling into my lap, like just yesterday, I signed a contract for WD-40. A contract to do to work with them, and you think that's amazing. Every garage in the UK has half a tin of WD-40 in it, and just from working on this thing tirelessly for 2.5 years or something like that, I'm getting all these blessings just dropping into my lap, and I don't look at that as a presumption of outcome. Oh, that's it. Of WD-40, that's a winner. They're like, well, what's next? You know what I mean? What will come next? I've got no presumption on the outcome. Yeah.
You didn't presume you'd be working 7 days a week. You probably did 7 days a week, all hours.
No, but that's made me better. Holding myself to accountability for that, for me to, because I was the person that would go, nah, or I'll be there and turn up late and do all these things. And since I started my company, I had to hold myself to that regard. And it's changed my entire life. You know,
you've got nobody else to blame.
No, that's right. You've got no one else to blame.
Hold yourself accountable.
And then when it's going right, you go, you motherfucker.
Yeah, there's only one person responsible.
Who knew
for that.
you were capable of this?
Yeah.
Because you 3 years ago didn't. You didn't have a clue you were this person.
Yeah.
And this is the thing with people. I'm sure you'll agree. Throughout your lifetime, you're 1,000 different people. And there's been a lot of Jacks that I didn't like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took me 35 years, but I've kind of stumbled onto a Jack I get on with now. But you've got to keep him in check. You know what I'm saying?
I've never looked at it like that, but that is a really good way of.
You found how you work.
Yeah.
And
this is a thing, and I don't mean to sound pig-headed with it, but a lot of people that are struggling with mental health and struggling with depression are susceptible to excuses like, I'm not going there. I don't feel up to it. And you're just, the whole time, you're missing out on opportunities. And all it is this bug in your brain is stopping you from all these, all these opportunities, and you go, no, and you're just comfortable in being miserable. You're comfortable because you don't have to really do much. You can just go home and just sit there and be fucking miserable, and it's fine. You're safe here, but that's not the way, man. It's just a waste of an incarnation. Like I say, you're giving yourself a subpar version of yourself.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good point. How did you come across these guys then, originally?
I knew it was online. It was online. I was looking for a charity, and there's tons out there, Calm and Mind and stuff like that. And I thought, well,
what speaks to you?
Yeah, because this is the end of the line. Suicide, like this prevention, man. Like people are like they've got their toes curled over that edge, and it's bringing them back. And plus, it was the supporting family and friends that that's
really important.
Resonated. I've never heard that before, and I was like, because getting someone back better is a joint effort. It ain't just one man on his own.
Nope.
It isn't. It is. And again, I'll always stress this: if you're feeling unwell and like you might hurt yourself, you've got to seek professional help. Like these guys will steer you in the right way.
And where can people go to find these guys?
Online, just online. Men's Mind Matter comes straight up.
Yeah, even if you know somebody who you think they're in that dark place.
Yeah. And I always ask that question. Listen, you ever thought of, I know it sounds odd, but you ever thought of hurting yourself? And someone goes, shut up. No, I'm just fucking down, mate.
Yeah, you always feel wrong asking that, but actually it's such an important question.
It opens up to go, that's quite a strange thing to ask someone, or like quite a big thing to ask someone. And maybe someone will go, oh, they must really care about me to, you know what I mean? It could bring all these different things out. But
but you'd rather ask
these guys, the model, the NHS model at the minute, I think is if you go in, like I did, and I've got a bit of, so this another thing about the NHS. So I went in, that day I went in saying I was unwell, handed them the note. They took me over, we sat down and we spoke. And they said to me, right, okay, so, and I was saying the problems I have with like my children and this problem I've developed because of my mother of one child and all this shit show. They goes, right, okay, well, we need the names and addresses of the mothers of the children. I'm like, why? Well, you're unwell and you're a risk to yourself, so we need to inform them for the safety of the children. I'm like, you're going to do what? Yeah, we need to. You're going to tell the mothers of my children that I'm batshit crazy.
Yeah, and
they're going to go. I'm like, I've come here for help.
Yeah,
you're going to get my kids taken away from me.
To dob me in. Yeah,
and I remember going, what the? And I remember thinking, I shouldn't have come here. I shouldn't have fucking come. They're like, whoa, calm down. I'm like, no, you can't do that to me.
Yeah,
because you're giving them. I'm a great dad.
Yeah,
I'm a great dad. I'm just.
You're not gonna.
I'm struggling, and I've come here for help.
Yeah,
I didn't want to kill myself. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And that was a big thing.
Yeah, wow.
And these guys to realise that it's an outdated model. You can, if I was to go that day and say I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to do it, and they couldn't talk me out of it. They will basically lock you up for, I think it's 3 days or 72 hours. They put you're sectioned essentially.
Yeah,
put in a padded cell, and you're kept on watch, and that's basically the model. You're like, what? You're locked up.
Yeah.
So you're really struggling. You're locked in a padded cell on your own.
It's almost punishment, isn't it?
It's almost Victorian-esque, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they've got worked on a really. I don't know much about it, and that's probably something I'll do some videos on it in the future. But the guy who's created Men's Mind Matter or founded it is a practitioner, like a medical practitioner.
Yeah.
He is a psychiatrist.
And it's a subject for the professionals as well.
And he's built a model for instant care for people that he thinks works, and they've trialed it, and they want to run it out across the NHS and make it the norm. And it's a completely different approach. So I touched base with them today. They actually sent me the email, but I was too late coming in. Just to get the facts on that, but I don't want to say it wrong, so I won't. But I'll do a video. On it.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, this is outdated.
That's really good.
Let's fix this.
Yeah,
because you could save a lot of lives you know?
Yeah. And there's a lot that do.
It breaks my heart. Someone's seen a post the other day, and it's always someone's wife saying, it's with deepest regret, I announced that Stephen took his life the other night. And I try not to well up now, because every time I hear it, it fucking honestly breaks my heart, because I just think, man, like, you were so close to going down. Like, you just like, I know how close I was around the corner. All it took was a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of just changing the direction. And 3 years later, my life. I say this: if 3 years ago you'd have told me my life is what it is now, I'd have been deeply offended at how fucking ridiculous you were being. That's how certain and no hope I had. And I just think, when I see it, and I go, it's almost like I'm mad at him. I go, you silly bastard. You know, and you don't, not to talk of the dead, like, talk ill of the dead, but you're like, you fucking, what you done? What you gone and done?
You're not angry at you're sort of like angry at
you throw out that potential. You had to do a little bit. It was, I know it's hard work. But it's worth doing, and you could have done it, and you didn't, and now you're not here.
The one that got me thinking years ago, and I could never wrap my head around it, and I loved them as well as a kid, Lincoln Park, you know, that Chester Bennington. He had like 5 kids, married for a long time, seemed like he was like the happiest person ever.
This is what I mean. It seems that way. And this is what I could never, it is such a spectrum of it, you know what I mean? And you're like, it's so like, oh, honestly. It's hard to talk about it, because you don't like, but I say, get like with that, get wound up, and like I liken it to this. Like I picture, so I killed myself and I come back, and you go, oh, you're given a second chance. You went back to your mum. Mum, I'm back. I'm back. You think she'd go, oh no, you're back. I love you. She'd go, whack. You stupid twat. What the hell do you think you were doing? Look at this and that and that. And you know, there's a film. It's a Beautiful Life. You know, the Christmas film, where he wishes he wasn't born anymore, and the angel at Christmas comes down and says, right, okay, go back and look at life if you wasn't here, and the place is a chaotic shambles, and I could do it myself with, say, I killed myself today, and it took me a year to go through the auditing process, you know, and all that, because it's fucking crowded. A lot of men are doing it. I'm up there, and God goes, what the fuck are you doing here? I made a mistake, man. You regret it? Yeah, big time. I miss everybody. I can't believe what I did. And imagine if you just went, all right, I'll do you a solid one. I'm going to send you back a year down the line. You go, right, where's Jodie? I'm going to go see Jodie. Right, she moved back down south. Oh, really? Yeah, she's shacked up with someone new now, but she's confused. She's really, really hit her hard. The person she's with is fucking messing her about. Left, right, centre. She's, oh fuck, well, you know, she was someone else. I can't go there. Go see me mum. Go see me mum and Mike. And you go and see your mum, and where's mum and Mike? Oh no, my mum and stepdad got divorced. You know, mum took it really hard. She's been drinking heavily. He's like, fuck me, I've messed that up. And then like we talked about the statistics of a daughter. My daughter does struggle from time to time with her own mental health. And she's 19. And imagine coming back and they're saying, well, we told you this is statistics, Jack. She took her own life in a uni dorm. That's deep. When she was, and you go, what? Wow. Well, we told you. And you go, what? And this is what I say to people: do not get confused about what an impact your absence would have on the world. This is not the easy way out. And when you look at that and you think, well, I couldn't hack it, and I didn't want to do the hard work. Look at the fucking ripple of devastation I've caused around it. You know what I mean? And that's, every time I go through that story in my head, it sends fucking hairs up on the back of my head. You know what I mean? Wow. And that is an exercise. Anyone who's struggling, sit on the end of your bed and do it. Think, okay, well, come back. Who are fragile people in my life that could, because my mum, we spoke about it. She goes, do you know, Jack, I'd never enjoy another Christmas, and I'd never enjoy another birthday. I wouldn't be able to blow the candles out on my own cake on my birthday, because you wouldn't be there. Or Christmas dinner, there'd be an empty chair there. I couldn't enjoy Christmas. No. She said, you might as well cancel the rest of my fucking life. You'd make the rest of my life miserable because you couldn't fucking hack it. You know what I mean? And that's.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a, and that, you know, you look at that and you go, it ain't, it is about me.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of it. I can fucking fix it.
Yeah.
I need to just not get some help, professional help, make some changes in my life. Am I drinking too heavily? Am I going out and doing cocaine and stuff like that? Because that'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
Am I in a poor relationship that I know that's no good for me? Jordan Peterson says a brilliant thing. It's a thing anyone can do. Sit on the end of your bed in the quiet and ask yourself, what could I do? Or what should I do that could make my life instantly better? And you'll get a fucking answer.
Yeah.
And it may not be the one you want. You know, it may be, you may, like, again, say you're going out and taking cocaine at the weekends and it's, you're not having, you know, you miss every Sunday, you missed every Sunday for the last year and it's having a bad effect on this and that and that. And you go, well, I enjoy doing it. It's got to go.
Yeah.
It's got to go. And if you'd done that today, your life would be better. Drinking, pornography, for instance, anything that's polluting your mind.
Get rid of it.
You go, right, okay, well, I could do that today. And tomorrow my life would be better.
It's these little steps, isn't it?
And anyone can do that. I dare say we could all in this room sit and think, if I stopped doing that tomorrow, my life would be incrementally better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Day by day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And, you know, that's quite something.
Yeah. The one thing that I suppose that we didn't touch on, with all the impact that it has on your family and your friends that you're not there anymore, is that they've got to think for the rest of their lives now, especially if they're close to you. Say if it is someone like Jody, they've got to think, oh, he left me. He chose to do that.
Yeah.
You chose to say,
and this is the beauty
to not say goodbye and call it.
Yeah. You know, all those things, like my daughter buying me a drink, or your mum getting old.
Yeah.
You as a man have a duty.
Yeah.
And that duty, even if you don't have children, it's a duty to your mother. When your mum gets sick, you got to be there.
Yeah.
When your dad dies, you got to put that headstone up. There's things you need to do that can only be done if you hang around, and you're giving that duty to someone else.
Yeah.
A man has a duty in many ways. Like, and same with my daughter. Like, I can't wait to get her a first car. You know, these things. And I can't wait for her to ring me to say she's rear-ended it.
Yeah.
And I've got to go and sort it out. And I can't wait when the cam bout's gone and I've got to drop a new engine in. All these things.
That you wouldn't have otherwise seen, sort of thing, yeah.
There's so much.
Yeah.
I'd never met Jodie. Jodie's, I'll cut my kids as well, but Jodie is the most single best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, with regards to working, I often say, through how much she's helped me working by I don't mean picking up spanners and helping me, just being supportive. I'm going to be late tonight. Things I took a turn.
But every great man is an even greater woman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And any success I have from here on out isn't mine, it's ours. Yeah. Because I couldn't have done it without her, you know, because I'd have gone, no, shall I go to that job? I'm going to go down the pub with the lads. And I'd have lost a day here. And she keeps me in check. And that is, it's really something, and any man that's trying to do anything, is having a good woman behind you. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
That will, like we fell out last night. We're best of mates. I think we have the most healthiest relationship and rewarding relationship I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Apart from like my grandparents and stuff. But even last night, we were cutting pumpkins last night, and we fell out. Like, just like, we were on each other's case, and she's like, and I moaned about something. She's like, we're meant to be having fun. And then we've cut the pumpkins, and I've turned the light off to take a picture. She's turned it back on. I've turned it off. And I'm like, well, we've just cut them. We've got the candles in. I want to get a picture of them. She's like, I haven't finished. I'm like, we're meant to be having fun. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then we didn't speak all night. I woke up this morning, went to the gym together. Right, went, and then literally, and I'm thinking, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And it's funny because it literally.
Are you normally the one between you and Jade? Because I certainly am the one that goes, right, come on, let's not be silly.
And this is quite rare. I tried last night. I went, cut the shit. I'm not falling out tonight. Come here. She's like, no, fuck off. Leave me, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm do that. I'm like that. I'd go, no, hold on. This is getting out.
Yeah.
And I don't want a bad night. But she's already upset.
Yeah.
But just before I come in, we're talking about something. She's like, I love you. I'm like, I love you more. And that's it, done.
Yeah.
Done. End of story.
End of story, done. But but people fall out, people.
They do.
Yeah.
But and see, that affects me. I was quite down. I woke up and I'm like, fucking, and I thought, today's a hell of a day to be, because we haven't fell out for genuinely now, couple of months. You know, it's been, so that was quite like, well, what's going on here? Why tonight have we just fell out doing something as fun as cutting pumpkins?
You wouldn't have thought it, would you?
And I've driven up here and I was just fucking down, and I thought, and I thought, what a hell of a day to come and do a mental health podcast when actually I'm feeling quite down.
Yeah.
And then instantly like that, I love you too. Right, that's cured, that's fixed.
Yeah.
We can, because she knows I'm coming in here and she knows I need to be on like my head straight. You know what I mean? But it's quite funny.
Yeah.
But having someone like that to back you.
Yeah. And turn to that person. If you've got a person in your life that you go, do you know what? I can rely on them. Well, turn to that person then.
That's it. Just if you have a bad day, talk about it. Just talk about it.
With Jodie, she completely doesn't understand mental health at all. And it's actually quite refreshing because she's never experienced it. And I don't know, because she comes from like a Romani gypsy background. It's all fucking chaos.
Just get on with it,
no one. It's almost like, again, this, how you feel doesn't come into it. So she's kind of been raised that way and she does not understand. She's like, so you wanted to like kill yourself? Like, she's like, I don't understand it. Like, and you get really down and then you struggle with things like, she's like, don't understand it, because she's just happy as Larry all the time. She never experiences that self-doubt or you know what I mean?
It's a nice dynamic, really. I suppose it's a bit of a breath of fresh air to
levels
hear
you
that
out.
perspective.
It's phenomenal.
It
really is.
Until you've been in that position, you never will understand how actually somebody feels in that position.
It's funny, you know, like the SAS. It's the mental fortitude and the thing. And I remember watching an episode of SAS, and I was like, you could hit me with a lump of wood over and over for 10 hours straight. I'll pull through. I'll be fine. But the mental mind games, I've got the weakest mind ever, and that's it's almost like going to the gym and training. You have to train it. Yeah, you have to be on it and squeeze that muscle every now and again, because our minds, I'd fold in a minute. I'd be in there, like, put a bag over my head and I'll crouch in the corner and they go, who did it? I'm like, I am.
Yeah.
I'll be, get me out of here. I can't do it. I'll be weak as fuck.
You're right. Obviously, you're talking about the NHS earlier, and I think with every situation these days, I think they're quick to offer, right, go on, there's some pills. Yeah. Take them.
Pills are tools.
Yes. Yeah. Well, is there better? Well, obviously I know the answer here. Is there better ways of dealing with that? You know, I think they're quick just to say, "There, take a pill, you'll be right for the rest of your life now." But actually, it's
take
not.
Two of these and
it'll all go away.
Take two of these.
It's not the way.
We'll call you in the morning. Yeah, take two of these and come in.
I think it should go. And obviously, they're probably. You got to be careful with people and how you speak to them. But I think, you know, if you were really getting down to the bones of it, if someone come in and they say, I'm depressed, I'm not very happy, and they've got financial trouble and they're overweight, and you go, no shit. No wonder you're feeling down. You made
a lot of mistakes.
Your life's a bit shitty at the minute. Does that require pills to go, right, okay, well, I'm going to stay overweight and I'm going to stay financially broke. I'll take pills and it'll make it a bit better.
Yeah.
Or do you go, right, okay, let's keep finances. If you got rid of that credit card and did this and that, no, you'd feel instantly that would be a weight off your shoulders. And if you lost a little bit of weight, felt better, and whether it be man or a woman, you know, you felt a bit more confident in a shirt or a dress. I think these are the things that can help. All right, they might take a little bit longer than taking pills. But on the other hand, if you are really, really depressed and, like you say, suicidal, I've taken them. Yep. I'll be quite open and honest about them. The first ones I took was sertraline, and they were really weird. I took them, and then you take one a day. And if I hadn't have took one by, say I took them at 7 o'clock, if I got to 11 o'clock and hadn't took the pill, I'd get a noise in my head, which was like a stereo, like adjusting a stereo. It'd be like crackling in my head. Really weird. And I take it and I think, wow, that's weird. I didn't really feel much of a change. So they put me onto citalopram, which is a different one. much the same. But I remember it was my daughter's birthday. I forget how old she was. And we were there, blew the candles out, and I remember going, wow, I don't feel sad, but I feel nothing. Like, I don't feel happy. I'm just like, boom. Like, there's nothing.
No
I remember
emotion.
thinking, why am I not happy? Like, it was
bizarre.
really bizarre.
That's strange. Yeah. Wow.
And it was like, it completely numbed you. And then I'll be quite honest about this. On these type of tablets, I don't know if I can say this.
Go on.
On these type of tablets,
We've had Big Nate on here, come on.
you may struggle to say, and this is the thing, when you're manically depressed, sex is probably the only good bit of your life, you know what I mean? And you will not be able to, on citalopram or sertraline, finish the job.
Yeah.
You look like you're playing the game. You can't score the goal. You know what I'm saying? So, and I remember going back and saying, I went to the doctor. I was like, I don't know how to say this, but on these two, and he goes, you should have said that sooner. Here's Vorkstrelin. You'd be able to on that.
Yeah.
And give me Vorkstrelin. You could. But then I remembered, like, and I just feel nothing. And I thought, I've got to come off these. Like, this ain't and that was around about the time where it was like, okay, I need to, like, do some work, fix some things, not just fucking take. You know what I mean? It's like putting rad weld and not changing the rad. If we're talking mechanic terms, it's like it's going to leak again soon, mate. You got to get to the bottom of the issue.
You talk about ambitions earlier. Was that one of them then to say, you know what, by then I want to be off these tablets? Or
no, I think it was a bit of a clumsy where I come off from. I hadn't took them, or I went away or something for a week, and I come back and I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to stop taking them.
Yeah,
I think it wasn't like this big decision.
No,
and then I took them, and I got really bad a while after that. See, this is what I mean. I'm not saying don't take them. It's a tool, and if it can help you in that moment, that crisis time, take them. But you need to go, right, I've took them, I feel better, but what is the problem? Because I've got 1,000, and like I say, that I don't believe anyone, unless you've had like bad childhood trauma or some kind of military PTSD or something similar.
Oh, sure.
PTSD. I can't talk on that. I don't know it. But if you have a similar story to me, you've definitely got something wrong somewhere, or there's something you could be getting better right. You know what I mean? Like there is things you can do, and you need to just be honest with yourself about it. It might be a shitty relationship. Like that relationship I was in with my wife was terrible for years. And in fact, I slept in this. We had a nice big house in Market Harborough, and I moved into the spare room. We did not go near each other for 11 months. We lived in the same house. 11 months misery, and it was one night we come back from a Christmas party, and we spent one night together, drunk. And that's when my son was conceived.
No way.
Once. 11 months, hadn't gone near each other. Didn't want it. We didn't care about each other. Just living separate lives. And then that was another thing that led to immense guilt for me, was my son, Loxley. He was obviously conceived, and it was like, what? This can't get any worse. I can't bring a kid into this. I remember thinking, this kid is the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And until he was born, and I held him there, I cut the cord and I held him, and he's just become the most perfect thing that ever could happen to me. Yeah. But right up until then, I even, like, when I took her for a scan or something, I'm just like, I don't want to be here.
No. Because up until he arrives, it's you, it's me, me, and then it's Loxley, isn't it? Yeah.
And now there's another body.
Yeah.
But it was, and I look back and just go, I've been such a scumbag before. And this is the thing, unless you're a pathological fucking nut job, you cannot be a scumbag and not have some level of guilt or you feel
sorry.
Shit. Yeah, or just feel shit. You're like, I'm shit. I am a shit person. No wonder you're miserable. No wonder you're sad. You're fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where I was.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are trapped in that thing as well with relationships where they know it's bad, they know it's awful, but they feel like it's just easier to just carry on with it.
Yeah. And this, sorry. Come on.
Yeah, no. You're saying the outcome, the heartbreak is worse than carrying on, if you like.
Yeah.
And this leads to another thing of when it all, like sometimes it all crumbling down and going to shit and being burnt off is a blessing.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how many people coast with all right job, fucking missus you're not really happy with, and you just, it's all right, it's not bad, but I'll just coast.
Yeah.
When, like for me, everything had to die, everything had to be torched to the ground, and people don't get
Before
that
you
training day or
realise.
wake up day. People, I think you've got to bum a deal if you just coast your whole life, rather than a complete burnout, and then you've got to rebuild. And people, and like my life is never been better ever. Couldn't fathom it. But I had to go through that torching period of it's all gone. I like to say, rock bottom is the best place to build foundations. You know, you've got to get all the way down there to lay those. If you want to build up high, you got to dig down deep. You know what I mean? And sometimes when there's nothing left, right, okay, let's start building.
Yeah.
And people coast, and I'd rather lose everything once and get, and have a beautiful life and learn a lot about yourself. Because that's the thing as well. When you're coasting, you just kind of put up with your own bullshit. When you go, whoa, like when I met Jodie, I've always lied and fucking bent the truth and cheated. When I met Jodie, it was like I had a hell of a story to tell her from what's gone on. Wife, cheating, baby, like all this. And I said I have to be completely open and honest with her, everything. Because before I tried to, before I'd met Jodie, I met someone else and I go, oh, well, yeah, it's a bit messy, but tried it. And I said to her, right, sit down.
Here we go.
Hold your nose. And told her about it. And the beauty of it is, with that, nothing can ever come out. She's like, and she's questioned me before, like, have you been completely honest with me? I'm like, you can ask me anything, any question you want. It'll be the same one that I've told you. It will not differ because it's the stone cold hard truth.
Yeah.
And it's bad, I know, but you can ask me drunk, sober, half asleep.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. I have complete, because when you tell, like, I've been there before, like, you tell a lie and you're like, oh, fuck, man.
Yeah.
What if I get found out? What if I get
Got to
found
stay
out?
consistent.
And it's on your mind constant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I just went to her, hey, this is me. And that was from building confidence up in myself. Because I remember before, I got these two kids and with two different moms, and I've got no money, and I was like, who the fuck is going to want to be with me? You know what I mean? Plus I was suicidal weasel. And tell you now, that is not attractive to any woman. If you can't control your own emotions and you're a quivering wreck, I'm sorry, but you might be with someone who loves you, but there's going to come a day when they get sick and tired of it. And this is a hard lesson for some blokes to learn. Like if you're in a relationship and you love that woman, you owe it to her to get better, because at some day she'll piss off.
Yeah.
She'll be sick of it because she'll want a bloke who can control his shit and as all right, he's been through the mill, but he's pulled his fucking socks up and he's gone on with it.
Got to look
There's
after
nothing
yourself.
more unattractive to a woman, and it's a horrible thing to say, but there isn't. And I have this thing now, I cannot lie, because, and this is another thing Jordan Peterson says, and I can back it up. He's in his medical practice, he's never ever seen anyone get away with something, not even once. And with regards to anything on anyone, like a lie or double crossing, it's like he says it's like twisting the fabric of reality. You tell a lie, that is the opposite to reality. That's not the truth anymore. The truth continues this way. You've done a hard left and gone off there somewhere, and it comes slapping back at some point. Whether it's 3 days away, whether it's 3 years away, you'll pay for every lie you tell. And that is something I can totally agree with. I paid for it and then some. Everything I've done wrong, has come back. And it's almost like, I remember realising this and seeing my comeuppance on these factors and going, when I met Jodie and things are going, I go, is that it? Am I in my, am I up to date with the shit I've caused? Am I clean now? Is that my slate clean? Because everything seems to be going great, and I think it is. Mm-hmm. And with that now, I can't be dishonest about anything.
No.
Like I say to, like, even the slightest little things, I go, I'll pay for it somehow. I'll get a puncher. If I told a lie here now, I'd get a puncher on the way home, or I'd drop my phone and it'd go, smash the screen. Or there's something would make me pay.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in real time.
That's a really good way to put it. Yeah.
It really, honestly.
It's the experience of the consequences stopping you from doing it again.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. And I say that to any young man. Don't lie, man.
Yeah.
Because it's delayed gratification. You're putting it off. And it's only pain there. Mm. Whereas you can have that, you could deal with that thing right there and then, and it stops. Yeah. Or you lie, and it just accumulates, and it will come back big time. Like going right back to the start of where things were going wrong in my marriage. I could have walked away, said, this is no good for me. Those 11 months I spent in the spare room. At month 3, I could have gone, this is not for me. I'm going to leave, respectfully, I want a divorce. We're going to do this amicably. We're going to split everything. It's going to be fine. I didn't. I wasn't a man about it. I was a weasel. I tried to just carry it on as long as possible and then start cheating and this and that. Mm-hmm. And in turn, caused a hell of a lot of pain for a lot of people. Lost all her side of the family. They loved me. They adored me. I carried her uncle's coffin into a funeral. I carried her granddad's coffin into a funeral. And I lied and cheated. And the whole family disowned me. Yeah. And I instead, and all that pain I caused them, and the nieces and the nephews that looked up to me, I could have been a man, held my head up, held my chest up high, and gone, do you know what? This is not for me. Let's do it amicably. I didn't. I lied, cheated, and I paid the ultimate price. Lost everything. And, and even now, I refuse to look back at it as a bad thing, because too much good has come, but I could have not hurt lots of people. Yeah. And that is the measure of a man. Yeah. And I've had to learn that. Mm-hmm.
Time is the good healer as well, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is. But
some people you can end up if you're in a bad situation, you can wait for the good days. Like I got lucky in the sense of when I was in a bad time, COVID happened, and it forced us out of that bad situation because COVID happened, everything locked down, everything there were. I came out on a good end, but if you can't wait for that day,
then car out the front.
That's not mine. That's not mine. That's Ben's. I know which one you're on about. That's Ben's. But yeah, no. If go do something about it, even if it is just the littlest thing, telling someone.
Yeah.
Even if it is literally just telling someone, or even if you do have that little lie, go and tell the truth. I am somebody who has told many white lies over the years.
That's why you keep having so many car crashes.
That's it. Yeah. Keep having white.
Honestly, it's direct. It's in one hand out the other with regards to stuff like that. Yeah. I think it's just it's so simple. Just live a pure life. You know what I mean?
Why do you think so many young people, especially, not saying all, but young people,
young lads,
are affected by depression these days? What is there any one point, or is it multiple amount of?
I think it could. I don't know. I think countless, really.
Yeah.
You're looking. Every time you open your phone, there's another 19-year-old lad driving Lamborghini through Dubai. I wish that was me.
Social media, big thing then.
Social media, definitely. Probably porn. Unrealistic expectations of what it actually is. You know what I mean? Like, it's unhealthy, man, to like treat. I don't know, I'm a bit old school, but I've just said that. I was a cheating rat. So really, have I got anything to? Can I speak about
how you can, because you can look back on that. That old
and
person.
I've got one bit of advice for a young lad as well. If you're thinking about going and spending half your wage on a car on finance, take a look at yourself in the mirror and say, "I'm an idiot. I should not do that."
Don't do it.
Yeah. I didn't do that, but I know so many people who have literally
to impress people you don't know, and it's like it's mad.
Yeah. And you drive it 10, 15 minutes down to literally. And the hilarious thing is as well, people are going sign themselves up, especially young lads. Like even my little brothers are on about it. I want a Mercedes on finance. What are you talking about? You haven't even got a full-time proper job yet. Yeah. And it's hilarious. Yeah, you're getting somebody's nice car and you go, nice car. Anyway, you move on, don't you? You don't go home at night.
You instantly go, financed, mummy, daddy.
Yes.
So really, you're getting any bragging rights, really?
No, I can speak from experience.
You've spent thousands on cars.
It's nice to have at the time, but you look back at that and go, it's gone. Like, I was in, negative equity, it's gone, enjoyed it, but no one went, wow, like, he's cool because he's got that car. It's just gone. It's just a distant memory now.
That would be my advice.
Yeah.
Don't
keeping up with trying to just keep up, man, and all this bollocks online about come to my trading school, and if you pay £40 a month, it's just bollocks.
I know,
and people fall for it.
Yeah,
I know. You see it all the time, more and more now, and people like young people are watching it, going, "Yeah, I want that Lambo.
Yeah,
I
could do it."
We've said it 1,000 times. Why on earth would someone? Listen, I own a small company, and I'm the only employee.
Yeah.
And I do the work. If you think how the fuck would I find time to let me show you how to train you to be how like me?
Yeah.
If you are a successful like millionaire, how the fuck have you got time? Sorry, excuse my French. How have you got time to teach a 19-year-old from Wigan how to be a multi-millionaire?
Yeah, that's it.
Just clear off.
And if you're making that much money, keep it to yourself and make more.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if
I want to help you.
That's the thing as well. Everyone can do it. Well, no. No. That doesn't.
And do you know what? You can make 10 grand a month from sitting in your bedroom.
Oh.
Is that a fucking fulfilled life? Like, one, it's a load of bollocks. Two, do you want to sit in your fucking bedroom?
Yeah.
Or sit like, and it's all this crap where they show the footage of them in
Dubai and stuff.
And they're in Dubai in front of someone else's car, and you're like, how? It's not.
Yeah. It's not real.
It's not real.
Scam.
Yeah. I think sort of related, really. I think a big thing about lots of young people feeling this way is because they hate. I'm not saying everyone does. A lot of people hate their jobs. They get to a Monday morning and think, I don't want to go to work, or a Sunday night thinking, I'll work tomorrow. So if you hate what you do, change it.
Yeah,
find a way out.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think it's important to say, and there'll be a lot of people, and again with mechanics, that hate their job, hate where they are, and this is where if you have 10 years experience and you're good on the tools and you hate your job, start your own company. It's, and I know it sounds like, it's ridiculous. I almost sound like one of those helps, like those helps.
Here we go, for 40 quid a month.
Start your own company.
That's it. You can
no, but seriously, it's not that hard. No. I can do it. And I'm a fucking quivering wreck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like half the time. It's actually made me better. I've only got better since doing that.
Yeah.
It's almost like, hey, your life could get dramatically better just from taking that leap. And I've seen a Dana White just this morning. Dana White does this thing. He's on about starting a business is like having a kid. You know, like people say, like, when is ever the right time to have a child?
Yeah.
You just adapt. You go, okay, child's here, let's do it. Same with starting your own business. There's never a right time. No. There's never a right time. If you can afford to buy a van, tax it, insure it, and your public liability isn't a lot, your business insurance isn't a lot, you can make that back in a job. The first job you do, you can make the month back for that. And like you can do it, man.
If your life's that bad that you dreading going to work, well, have you got much to lose anyway?
That's it.
Yeah.
What you got to lose?
Yeah.
What the fuck have you got to lose?
Yeah.
You have to. You want to leave anyway. You wouldn't probably go back, even if you did leave and your company didn't work out. You wouldn't go back there anyway, would you?
Nope.
You'd try somewhere else, and even then, that might get better. You know, just recently, Nathan. I don't know. Hopefully, he doesn't mind me talking about this, but Nathan, who bought out the company, and he was my business partner. And I bought his share of Heavy Tech, which set me back, and we were like brothers. I love that man more than anything in the world. Still one of the funniest men I've ever met and ever will meet. And to have him around is an absolute pleasure. And after that we just drifted apart. Didn't speak. Done. And
it's alienated
really
you both.
Upset me. Really upset me. But that's kind of just the way it went, you know. And then we spoke just recently, and this is a measure of a man. He didn't come to me and say, "Oh, you made a mistake." Like he come and he told me about how he was struggling with being at ECM. He says, "I should have stayed at Heavy Tech. That was my ticket out of here, and I'm still here." And no shade on ECM, but his life's changed a bit now. He's getting married. He's just had a kid. He's got those instant restraints that I had at the start to go, fuck, I've got to make this work. Yep. And he didn't have that. And that's kind of why it didn't work out. And we sat there talking about it. I says, start your own business. What do you mean? I says, you've done it once with me at the start. We both did it. You know what to do. You know how to invoice. Really? I says, Nath, I've got more work than I can fucking manage. I'll pass you, I'll give you first refusal and everything. So start a company and work this year like we did, work at ECM and leave. If you're going to leave, you leave on a handshake. I probably shouldn't be saying all this. Right. But I don't know, I think it's common knowledge, like work it up and then leave. Because mate, honestly, I want you to have this life, to be able to book work in when you want. And like you said, I've cracked a tooth. You have to walk into the office. And this is one of the things that happen. You walk into the office, I can have Thursday off. I'll crack my tooth. I'll let you know Wednesday, see how we get on. See how busy we are. You're like, I don't know. Or can I have this year's Christmas off? I've got my daughter. No, fully booked. Oh, what?
Yeah.
You know, like you had to go to someone cap in hand to try and get time off. Whereas I know people say, I'm my own boss, I do this and that. It ain't like that because your customer then becomes your boss. But you can book work in, and if you want to take the fucking week off, take the week off. Just work extra hard than the week before, or get everything tied up before that. I do it all the time. If I have a weekend off, you'll see me doing double time that week before to tie everything up. And you can, it's just a better way of life.
Yeah. You can do it, you've just told yourself you can't, which is half the problem.
You know that thing with the say, whether you can or you can't, you're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what it is. So I'm super excited for him now, and especially now we're back chatting like we were, sending me pictures of his son when he was born and that, and we're back nice. Being brothers again.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm so glad we could manage that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a quick message from us, guys. This all wouldn't be possible. The Talkin Shop podcast wouldn't be possible without Eclipse Diagnostics, the company that's made all of this happen, really, haven't they, Aaron? Yep. The leading supplier of gel test diagnostics. If you have your own commercial vehicle fleet or a fleet of machinery or even boats now as well, vessels, make sure to get in touch with Eclipse Diagnostics for the gel test product, the world's #1 diagnostic product for commercial vehicles.
Questions, I suppose, should we do?
Yeah, should we do
that?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at your questions.
Yeah.
Mine. There's a few good ones actually. I think we covered a lot. But
that hustle culture, that's a bit like the whole crap stuff on Instagram. That's basically that, isn't it? Like the whole hustle culture is all this, you know.
I sort of
we've been. That's such. And the one point I'll make about social media as well is young lads now are being sold to every time they're on the phones. Yep. Sold bullshit, sold cars, sold watches. This is something I've had recently. I've been doing a lot of brand deals. You'll see the same with WD-40, and that's an ad. Yeah.
So, and this is the thing. So I done a eBay ad, and they fucked me. I think we spoke about it before.
I think they just done that last time you come on. Yeah.
They fucked me. Made me look a right twat. And I said from here on out, if you want me to advertise something, it has to, I have to think it's good and is beneficial to people watching. 2, it's on my terms. I do the video how I do all my others, a bit of humour, to give them some tips and tricks to take away from and get something from the video. You can't just sell something to someone.
It's a value add.
And I'm not selling it anyway. I'm just going, hey, they got these tools, and like I've done one for the ball joint splitter recently. But people go, oh, fucking, a second I seen it was an ad, I scrolled. I'm like, I get it. Because I do the same. Yeah. I get it. But just believe I've got integrity. If I do it, I'm going to give you something to take away from it. I'm not trying to sell you. This is the same with the merchandise. I'm not trying to make money out of you. No. This is why I give half of it to them now. I'm just like, my half goes back into making new designs. Like, we're not trying to take your money, but if you want to wear a Heavy Tech hoodie, it's there, you know, but at least people benefit from it now.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely.
But and you're right, people just sold shit all the time. Or, you know, someone asked me to do it, the TikTok affiliated things where you go, so TikTok have sent me a fucking back scratcher or something like that. And you're like, oh, these are really good.
Where's that going to work?
And you're like, oh man, used to do some really good videos and now it's this.
Yeah.
But that hustle culture. But you're right on that.
It's the world we live in.
I've got a good one here. Imposter syndrome. How do you deal with imposter syndrome?
What's imposter syndrome?
It's when you like, for me, I've started my own company. I own my own company and I'm a business owner. And really, I haven't got a fucking clue what I'm doing. And that is true. I haven't got a
fake it till you make it type thing.
So you're kind of in a room, rubbing shoulders with some people that are in business and you're in business and you're like, I ain't got a fucking clue what I'm doing. I'm an imposter here. And the truth is, and I think everyone would agree, no one has a clue what they're doing. No one. And I watched something, Daniel Asheville.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mammoth construction entrepreneur. And I was watching a thing with him the other day and he met this old Irish guy that he knew. And it was just when he got into construction and he had to do a quote on a patio or something. And he went round, he took a Chinese up and they sat and he helped him price the job and tell him what he needed this type 2 sand on there and all that. And that is, he's a titan in the industry. He had to just pretend to be that at the start. I owned Asheville Construction. Like with Heavy Tech, I always say we. So we are here today. There's only me.
Yeah.
But you just got to understand that everybody's the same, starting out, trying to figure it away. And even people at the top of business, wing it. There's no imposter syndrome. If you're there doing it, you have a right to be doing it. You have a right to be there, like anyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't let imposter syndrome hold you back.
One thing as well, if you're, and I'm a big believer in this, if you're in any situation, whether you don't like your home life, you don't like your work life, have a look around. Actually, who are those people you're sat at that table with? Actually, is the group of people you're with actually good for you?
Yeah.
Is that's what's keeping you back?
And they say this, don't they? Only take advice off people who have the life you want. Because if they're going, oh, you should do this, and you're like, well, you're miserable relationship. You hate your job. Why am I listening to you?
Yeah,
that's not something I need, mate.
No, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the table you sat at. Yeah,
absolutely right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because that's another thing as well. You could think you absolutely hate your job. So you hate your job, or you hate the place you're working with.
Who you're working for, or the work, or the layout, or the or the commute. Could be the commute.
Yeah.
It could be a fucking lot of drive.
I knew you. Yeah.
Could be the commute.
What, you saying you hate me or you hate the group?
Yeah. Actually, let me say it.
But it's all subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. What else you got?
I don't know. I'll stay off that one. Ungrateful other half.
Do you know as well, when you're young, I say what the advice I'd have when you're young, I was the worst for it. I'd sit there and not know something. I'd sit there, cock it up and not ask. You work with people who are more experienced than you for a reason. Ask the question.
And they'll be, I tell you now, I know this is from experience, you'll be more pissed off that you didn't ask. I'd rather an apprentice ask 1,000 times rather than fuck it up once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you doing? Why you ask me? Oh, just try it.
Yeah.
But now we've got 3 hours of work on top of what you did. There's a video I'd put on TikTok and he was drilling it and the drill had gone off to the side and he drilled, trying to extract a bolt, drilled into the hub, wrecked the hub. And it's like, he just come to me and say, it's going wrong. Can you help?
Yeah.
It's the worst thing you can do, wing it by yourself.
Yeah. So we're telling people, just wing it, mate, but don't wing it.
I've got a good one here. The toll of having to be the strong one in the family.
That's a lot of men.
A lot of men. But also, I think that is a subjective again.
Yeah.
Do people come to you for advice and help? That's a hell of a blessing, There's a hell of a big shoes to fill, I know, but are people coming to you for that? Well, I think you've already solidified your position now, haven't you? There's someone that people can trust, someone that people can look up to. And if that is you, then you're blessed. You've got big shoes to fill, but you better fill them, man, because people are relying on you. And again, duty, that toll of being the strongest in the family, you got a duty. And that's a hell of a duty, man.
Yeah.
It's a hell of an honourable position to have in the family,
Yeah. There's still that, and that is a society thing as well, that there is still like the man financially, you still have to get up every day to provide for your family and whatever. And some people will thrive on that, and others, it's hard, to have that pressure.
Yeah,
and that's definitely a society thing where,
it is. Yeah, it's maybe a bit of a traditional thing, isn't
yes,
it? Like,
100%. It's like not an old fashioned thing, but it is definitely a lot of women will think, why is that? That is quite, an old fashioned misogynist way of looking at things. But there's still that thing of,
it's actually something I personally aspire to be, that person in the family. Like, just to touch on this, when I was going through the divorce, I had to borrow a lot of money from my auntie, and she's done really well for herself, very successful, and she helped me with the court case and the money, which is about £20,000 when it was finished and done, the divorce. So that's 40 grand on both sides just for an argument, basically. And she says, I don't want the money back. You'll struggle. I don't want it back. I think something like £15,000 in the end. Wow. Don't want it back. And I said to her, because she was that person for me, I said, the only way I could repay her is to be, because she's always done it. She's always had everyone's back in the family because she's had the money to do so. And I said to myself, the only way I can pay her back is be her to my nieces and nephews. The generational gap, I'm going to be that person first. So, when the kids are around, it's, I have some, and I want to do well enough to be able to, one of them gets in this shit, I go, I got it. That's how I can repay her back.
And her reward is probably seeing you now.
To see me do that and go, there's someone's taken the mantle of looking after the family.
I think as well, not everybody does something to have like a favour in return as well. I think it's okay to feel like, they did that to help me out.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was a hell of and the darkest time of my life. I think a lot of people with that. And that's another thing that stopped me killing myself was I've got to pay these people back, And with my auntie, imagine her paying all that money for me to go through a divorce, for me just to kill myself. She'd be like, "Well,
thanks,
cheers."
I
know she wouldn't think about the money, but it'd be what a hell of a thank you. Cheers.
Yeah. Well, she might have been thinking, "Oh my God, I funded that divorce, and it's made him kill himself."
Yeah.
You
saw all these things, but like I say, when people reach out and help you, again, don't give them a subpar version of yourself. Give them the best you can be.
Yeah, and that's the best reward for them half the time.
Yeah,
If they're doing it for the right reasons, that'll be the best.
So exactly. To
best
shine.
Reward. What else have we got?
Do you know the thing is we covered most of them.
That's good. I mean, that's good. That's good. There's some interesting statistics.
We've literally gone everything.
That's really good.
Spoke about has been answered.
That's what you wanted to really.
It's pretty much what it always happens with ours as well now.
Yeah. So I think these are really interesting. So suicide is the leading cause of death for men under the age of 50 in the UK, which is scary.
The leading cause of death.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is scary. Under 50 as well.
Under 50.
Yeah, because you're competing with cancer and stuff like that.
Yeah, which is already huge. And this is leading.
It almost sounds made up.
Yeah, it does.
But it's true.
I saw that and went, wow, like that's
I'll have to fact check that again.
Yeah. 36% of all NHS referrals from psych therapies are all men. Men are less likely to seek help for their mental health, which I suppose speaks for what we've been talking about. Really, men don't want to talk about their problems and choose that way out.
Yeah, and so it is slowly changing.
They're either embarrassed, or they have to admit they're wrong, which is a hell of pride comes into a hell of. There's a lot of dead men that let pride do it.
Yeah, this is a big one. 2014, 76% of all suicides in the UK were men. Yeah.
It's an epidemic.
Yeah, absolutely.
It breaks my heart.
52% would be concerned about taking the time off work, whilst 46% would be embarrassed or ashamed to tell their employer. So is that then referring to...
But I do that though. When I need a break or when I really should take that day off, I'll make some excuse of why I have to work it.
Yes, that's it. So you're sort of justifying,
and that's not even when you are feeling down. Like, really take a break.
Yeah. And
Take a minute.
This is where it sounds hypocritical, me saying, don't let your feelings get in the way. But there's parameters to this.
Yeah,
you know
of course
what I mean?
there is. Yeah.
If you're at your, do you know, there used to be a guy we worked with. I won't say his name, but you'd see him pull into the car park. He'd go to park, reverse out, and clear off, gone.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He'd come in and couldn't do it. And, he'd do it, and then we wouldn't see him for 6 weeks, and he'd come back and he'd try again. And I remember that was before I got ill. And bloody how did I understand him after?
Anxiety.
He used to go, what? And he'd pull up and go, can't do it, drive off. Wow. You go, what the fuck?
So every intention of wanting to, but just saw the place and
tried
thought,
it,
nope.
Couldn't. Wow. And it's probably walking in and go, morning mate, how's things, you all right? And going, oh, like,
I can't talk about it.
You don't want to talk to people. You're just like, leave me alone, leave me alone.
How do you tell someone that?
Yeah, well, to be fair, we all knew he was suffering. So it would have been like, we were all rooting for him.
Yeah.
But but then you wouldn't see him, then all out of the blue, he'd turn up and you go, oh, and he'd clock in and then he'd go and you go, oh man.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah.
You worry like hell that, you know.
Where he's going to after that, really, I suppose.
Yeah. And if you won't seek help because of time, because of money, or because of work or whatever, I love that whole saying that I saw recently. It's like, no amount of money bought any amount of time.
Yeah. No, that's that's a hell of a line.
Yeah. No amount of money bought any amount of time.
That's right. Yeah. And this, you like, if you're going to, and like I said about getting professional help, you might need to take time off. And in the grand scheme of things, like, you know, taking time off, fuck work. Yeah. You know, like one of my gaffer said, this is serious business. Serious business. There's the stats. Hell of a lot of blokes are doing it. It's serious business. If you are feeling that bad and unsafe, fuck you, gaffer. Fuck work. It doesn't matter. Wait. Yeah. It's not. Don't even let it come into your head. No. Go get help. You know, and then give it 3 days, and then if you feel up to it, give them a call or drop in and say, look, heads up, I'm having a real rough time. Yeah. You know, and whether your gaffer understands or not, it's a hard one. Like my old gaffer he's rough as old boots, and he was kind of like, he'd be sympathetic to a certain, excuse me, and in the back of your mind, you know, in his face, he's saying, what the fuck? You know, but
I'll get on with it.
But from a corporate point of view, he had to. No, that's right.
This last one here, it sort of initially doesn't sound like a lot, but actually, you work it out, it is. So 12.5% of men in England have a mental health disorder. Actually, that's a hell of a lot of people. Yeah. Yeah. 12% doesn't sound a lot, but actually when you put that into the bigger picture, that's a huge amount.
They suffer with a mental health disorder.
Yeah, disorder. Yeah. That's that many people that, you know, are struggling. Yeah. Which is why charities like this is so important.
Yeah. And I mean, there of course there's others out there, there's mine, Carl, things like that, but this is who I'll be kind of affiliated with now, because I think it's when it's all gone completely wrong. Yeah. These guys will help you out, you know? And there's a lot of people there, you know, that the people have got their toes over that cliff. Yeah. And all it takes is either someone to push them or a gust of wind, but they're on the edge. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. We're in an industry where there's a lot of blokes out there, you know, think they're tough cookies because they're keeping it in. Don't bother.
No,
don't bother.
Tell somebody about it.
Yeah,
it is, and you've got, if you've got a good friend, a good close friend, forget the manhood, like the manly bollocks. If you went to another man that loves you as a friend, and you said, "I need to speak to you about something," and it's totally off topic, we've never spoken about it before, but I'm really worried about myself and where I'm going. No one will ever take the piss out of you. Nope. If they love you, they'll go, "Whoa, bro, what the fuck? Seriously?" Yeah. Well, listen, let's see what we can do. And it's the type of thing when, and then that maybe that the friend and his friend's partner will talk about it. And they'll go, "Is he all right this week?" Yeah, no, I'll just keep an eye on him. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll go golf Thursday. Or she can message the friend, you know, "He's not well this week. Has he said anything to you?" "No, he's had nothing." "He's not well. Can you take him? Yeah, you know what I mean. It's a joint effort,
and just
to get someone
something
back.
just to look forward to. There is, there we go. All of a sudden, my mind's focused now on something else.
And this is what I say when people. And another thing these guys say, when people stop making plans for the future, it's a big indicator. You know what I mean? Of when people like. They're just not fucking making plans. I know that could come in many different facets, but they've kind of stopped planning for the future. You go, okay, what's this about? And ask that question. Have you ever thought about hurting yourself? Could save a life. Conversations save lives.
Yeah.
So
just to recap, Jack, all your merch, were you saying you were
so to be completely transparent with it, the merch is made with a company up in Scotland. They obviously have to take their profit. What the cost is for making them and manufacturing them. Then what comes to me in that monthly amount is split down the middle. 50% goes to Men's Minds Matter.
Yeah.
And my half goes back into making new designs and we've got loads of different plans for, because we're starting now with, it's called Grafters Society. So we've got loads of cool designs coming, and you know what I mean. So it's really quite good. But
good on you, mate.
If you want to support, then feel free. And we're going to make sure it's good quality grafter spec.
No, I like them. I've seen them. I've seen them. Yeah, great incentive. So check it out, guys. Go check out Jack's stuff and support it, because we've all been subject to it.
Yep, we all have, and we all know someone that's going through it. So.
Yeah. There you go. Obviously, Ben's just mentioned. We're gonna all proceeds from this podcast. Anything we'll put towards.
Oh right, brilliant.
Well. So there you go.
Great.
There you go.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, if you've enjoyed this really important episode with Jack, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know who you want on Talkin Shop next.